Hi there, here's another Vortex top tip, and this is in relation to service accommodation. So if you're like me, I had buy-to-lets and I moved them over to service accommodation, and also I went out to other landlords and to agents, etc., and rented other people's properties and used them for service accommodation. But the top tip is in relation to the contract, whether it's the mortgage contract or whether it's the rental contract, is always make sure that the contract is suitable for running a service accommodation. As a well-known big developer, Jim Cassidy, says, business isn't about who you know, business is about contracts. So if you are moving your buy-to-let over to do service accommodation, or if you're buying a property to turn it into service accommodation, make sure that if you're putting a mortgage on it, that the mortgage terms allow you to do service accommodation. If you're renting off another landlord, make sure that the rental agreement stipulates that you can do service accommodation in that property, and put the onus on the other vendor, on the other landlord. Okay, and if it's in a block of flats, make sure that the head lease allows service accommodation. Okay, we fell short once when we rented off a person in a block of flats, and although our contract stipulated that they had to check that the head lease would allow service accommodation, they signed it, but they didn't actually check. And then we were basically in it for 2 months, and then the head lease people came along and we had to get out. The benefit of the contract though was they then got us another place, so that kind of worked out well. But make sure that the contracts work, make sure that your mortgage agreements allow you to do service accommodation, and make sure that any lease or head lease allows you to do service accommodation as well. Make sure that your contracts are rock solid. That's the top tip for today. Hope it helps.